Arise, Queens. This is the All Queens Army, where women are provided with the tools you need to overcome your fears, face your flaws, and experience breakthroughs as you develop self-esteem so strong you emanate royalty. Now, for your host and commander of the All Queens Army, Breizy Time.
Welcome to the All Queens Army podcast. This is your girl, your host, Breizy Time. I am here with another dope episode for my queens in the Queendom. I am so excited as usual to talk to my queens. I love you queens so much, like for real. Let me tell you why I love y'all. And this is no bullshit. This is real, coming straight from the heart, off the dome. I tell y'all, I never write down anything from an episode. It is all off the dome, all genuine, all transparent, all real true stories about my life and lives of the other queens that I invite onto the show. So here's why I love you queens so much, because I get so many comments from you queens about how much y'all really enjoy what I'm sharing and what the other queens on the show are sharing with their stories. I get it all the time. You guys are so awesome. There's a lot of podcasts out there. There's a lot of content on the internet, and the fact that you guys take the time to listen to my content, to listen to my podcast, means the world to me. I promise you, queens, I am going to show you my appreciation. I'm going to do something. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm working on it. I am brainstorming of what I can do with or for my queens who are commenting, who are showing love. There's some queens who have been binging episodes and sending me messages like, I'm starting today. I'm on episode 6. So today's episode is going to be one for the books, and I am recording today, and my guest is a king. So we let a king in the Queendom today, queens. We don't let kings in very often because this is all Queens Army. It's queens only. Sometimes we have to let a king in so we can get a male perspective, because listen, queens, we're married to some kings. We're dating some kings. There are some kings in our life. You know, some of us have kings that we're raising, and sometimes we need the king's perspective because we need a well-versed, well-rounded perspective on life. So sometimes we have to invite the kings into the Queendom, have a conversation with them. So I have, as the first king in the Queendom to have a conversation with us, is none other than my own hubby, Allen. So welcome to the show, Allen.
Thanks. Hey, queens, how y'all doing?
So we appreciate you being on the show today. I want to first say, this is the first thing I want to talk to you about, because I've never had this conversation with you, but on so many of the episodes that I've recorded already, I talk about my past and my relationship with my son's dad and how much that hurt me and how it changed me, how it made me so unbearable to tolerate for previous relationships that followed him. And then there's you. So I talk about that a lot. I think I've talked about it on 3 different episodes. I have expressed to the queens in the Queendom how it felt. I've expressed the pain that it caused me. I've also expressed how it changed me for the worse, basically. Like, it made me bitter and frustrated and all of that stuff. How does it make you feel when I talk about that part of my life and how much I emphasize that relationship had such a major impact on who I am today?
I love the fact that you talk about your past. It makes you a totally better person. You learn from your past. You can't forget your past. You can forgive your past, but you can't forget it. So I definitely think that you're the best at reliving it and letting people know how things went. So it makes you a better person, in my opinion.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, because I've never asked you how it felt. I just get on air and get on the podcast and start talking to the queens about my own personal experiences, because that's really all I have. I can't talk about other people's experiences, but I can talk about my own, and I can be transparent. And transparency is one of the things that I want for the All Queens Army, that we're telling the truth about our stories and we're telling the truth about our past and what we've gone through, because the only way that we can help each other and that we can grow and evolve is for us to be honest about what we've been through. But I never really said to you as my husband, you're like, how does it make you feel that I'm reliving this and talking about it so often? So I appreciate the support on that.
100%.
Thank you, baby, because it allows me the freedom to talk to other women about how they feel about those types of things in their life, because there's a lot of queens who are going through it today, despite the fact that I went through it 16 years ago. So I'm way over it, but I have to relive it and I have to talk about it and I have to tell that story so that I can relate to some of the queens who may be going through it today.
Yes, definitely.
So thank you, honey. I appreciate that.
I'm here for you.
Thank you, babe. So with that being said, I want to tell the queens, as you all know, I'm always telling stories. And again, transparency is key. And I want the queens to know our story a little bit. I'm bringing people up to speed. I've talked about my past. I've talked about previous relationships and how difficult and impossible of a girlfriend I was to boyfriends I had after me and my son's dad broke up. But some kind of how in 2015, I managed to overcome all of that bullshit, all of that baggage, and all of that bitterness, and open my heart up completely and 100% to my husband, the love of my life, who we're talking to today. So I want to talk about that journey and that process and that transition, because it is probably the most profound transition I've made in my life. And I also want to talk about your transition too, Hubs, because not a lot of queens know, but you had a major transition as well during that same time frame. So I want to tell our story. So that's what today's episode is about. We're telling our little love story.
Awesome.
And we're not perfect, y'all. We argue and we have our fair share of problems. We've been married almost 2 years now, and we've been together, almost 4 years now?
Definitely.
Well, back together. So back together. So let's tell that story. Tell the queens how we met.
Through our mutual friend, Tony Day. What up, Day? And he introduced me to Bree. And at the time I was dating, she was my girlfriend, his cousin.
So Day introduced us, but your girlfriend was Day's cousin.
Yes.
Okay, how old were we?
You were 13, I was 15.
I was a child. Why did I even have a boyfriend at 13? That's a mess.
That's a mess. But hey, that's how it went down. Me and Day actually went to Bree's house, and I could not believe my eyes.
You're so sweet, babe.
When I saw her come down them steps. So we was there, we had fun, we talked for a little while. I couldn't wait to leave, to get home, to make a phone call, to break up with Dave's cousin.
Wait a minute. So you went straight home and broke up with his cousin, who was your girlfriend, because you saw me?
That was the first thing I did. As soon as I left,
God.
I went home, picked up the phone. First thing I did. I couldn't think of nothing else. Right after I got off the phone, I couldn't wait to get back down there to see you. So
how old were you?
Probably 14 going on 15.
Okay.
So I remember like it was yesterday. We had so much fun, but I couldn't wait to get off the phone and get back down to see you. I just was so in love with you. I was.
You was smitten?
Smitten.
Yeah, I remember like my whole 8th grade year, you was my boyfriend. But then when I went to high school, we lost touch, and I don't remember breaking up. I don't remember us having a conversation about.
At all.
Yeah.
I don't remember not one conversation about not being together.
Me either. I don't even know why or how we stopped talking. I just know that we definitely stopped talking, and I went to high school because I had a whole nother boyfriend in high school. So I don't know what happened. I don't know how we stopped being in a relationship, but from 13 to 14, transitioning from 8th grade to 9th grade, I know we did lose touch and we stopped speaking. And then I would say fast forward to maybe when I was 21 or 22, I saw you at a party. Right. And you don't remember this, which is so crazy to me. Right. I was at a party with my best friend Simone on Bel Air Road, and we saw each other at the party, and we exchanged numbers, and we were just talking on the phone, just as friends, really, because I was in a relationship and you were actually married at the time, right?
Right. I was married.
Happily?
No.
You was miserable?
I wouldn't say miserable. I don't think that I was ready for the whole marriage life, because I felt like
you was young though.
I was young. Yeah. I felt like I wanted to still do other things, and when I saw you, I was like, I remember partially the night we exchanged numbers. I was so like, oh my God, is this it? Will I get her back at this time?
How if you was married?
I did not want to be married.
Well, you thought it was like when you was 14, like, well, I could just go home and break up with her.
Right.
No, it don't work like that.
It don't work like that.
Did you have a kid yet? Like, was Tasha born yet?
Tasha was born.
Okay.
She was the best little baby. And but I wanted to get out of the marriage, but it went on for a little bit longer. I just wanted to be with you. When I got that number, I was like, oh, is this it? But
it wasn't it.
It wasn't it.
It wasn't it. And let me tell you, queens, why it wasn't it. When we exchanged numbers, I was either 21 or 22. I don't remember. I had my son already, but my son's dad and I were still together. Allen and I were talking on the phone. It was as friends, because all of this time, just so you queens know, we had still never had sex. I was way too young. Like at 13 and 14, when we were in a relationship, I wasn't sexually active yet. But when we reconnected at this party, we exchanged numbers and we were talking on the phone. But but we didn't see each other. We were just literally talking on the phone as friends. Now, we probably was flirting a little bit. What you think?
We were flirting a lot. I
just
could not wait to call her. I had to make sure she wasn't home so I can make this call. But
wait, make sure who wasn't home?
My wife.
Oh, shit.
But
the tea is being spilled.
I could not wait to just call you and just see how you doing, talk to you, hear your voice. I wanted things to just be so different for myself back then.
Well, fast forward because we lost contact again.
Yes.
And I don't remember why, and I don't remember what happened. I don't know how we stopped talking again.
That's weird.
It is, because I really don't. Like, I have
Twice.
no recollection of what it was. Maybe things shifted in your marriage, and I just don't remember what happened. But I can say that fast forward to maybe 07, 08 time frame, I joined Facebook, and I remember the day I joined, you sent me a friend request. Because you must have already been like on Facebook or whatever, and you sent me a friend request and I accepted it. And I don't think we even said anything to each other.
Nope.
It was just you sent me a Facebook friend request and I accepted it. And from there, you would post pictures of you or the girls, because my husband has 3 girls. He only had 2 at the time.
Right.
He has 3 girls now who are now my bonus babies, my bonus children. He would like post pictures of himself or post pictures of the girls or his family or whatever. And I would like it or comment, be like cute pics, stuff. It was just random. It was general. There was nothing happening. And one day I posted a picture of myself, and this was probably, I'm gonna say 2013, and I posted this picture of myself. He commented shaking my head. And I inboxed him and I was like, why did you comment shaking my head on my picture? So what did you say when I said that to you?
I forgot, but I could not believe it. You were so beautiful.
Thank you, honey.
And I was just like, oh my goodness, look at this.
Well, here's what I recall about that. He says, one day you're going to be my wife. I remember you saying that. And I was pissed, y'all. Oh my God. I was so mad that he said that to me because of the content that he posted on Facebook. I knew that he was in a relationship. I knew that you and the ex-wife had broken up at that point, but by then you were in a whole new relationship.
Yeah.
And I was pissed off because I don't like when men, like, don't push up on me and tell me how much you want to be with me or how beautiful you think I am while you're in a relationship with another woman. So I thought it was disrespectful. And to me, I've known my husband since we were kids, not up close and personal, but I know his personality. He was always such a generous, sweet, nice, kind type of man. And I just felt like, that's out of character for him. Like, why would he be saying that? And he's in a relationship. So I checked his ass. We still have the messages to this day. And I told him, I said, how would I even take you seriously? If you're in a relationship, why would I take you seriously about how much you want to be with me if you're saying that to me, but you're in a relationship with another woman? I don't take you serious. Don't say that to me. And of course, what was your response?
I feel bad.
You did say you felt bad.
I felt bad. I felt like crap. It's like, yo, why did I do that? But I felt like I had to give it a try. Let me see.
Oh, you was just trying to shoot your shot.
Shoot my shot. The only thing I could think of is like, I want this woman. I'm mad that I told her that, but I need this woman in my life. I needed you in my life so bad.
You did message me and tell me that you had another baby on the way, which is the youngest baby of ours.
Yes.
I said, congratulations. I was excited. Send pictures. When she was born, you messaged me again and told me, hey, I named her after you.
Yes.
I was freaked out, y'all. I was like, this nigga is crazy. I was like, this dude is killing me. But honestly, can I be honest?
Yeah.
I wasn't attracted to any of that.
I know.
It was a turnoff. How you know?
Because it's like how you come at another woman saying these things when you're with someone. Mm-hmm. So you can't do that.
I was turned off because I felt like if you're with another woman and you're coming at me while you're with her because you're not happy in the relationship, I feel like, well, if I were to date you or we were to be together, wouldn't you do the same thing to me?
Exactly.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
So to me, I wasn't attracted to nor turned on by you doing that. I was actually kind of like schooling you, like, that's not cool. Don't do that. And, I know you apologized and I accepted your apology and it was cool. And I don't think we talked or messaged each other for years after that. It was maybe a like on this post or you liking a post that I posted about my son and football or whatever was going on with him. So that was probably 2013. And then fast forward to 2015, I was in a little situationship that you are aware of because I was honest, right? And I told you what was going on. And you had walked away from the baby mama situation and you moved out. Yeah. And you got
my own place, my apartment. I couldn't wait to be by myself, get my kids over to my house, and the number one thing that I was worried about was seeing if I can talk to Bree. And it happened.
How did that happen?
The comment I put up about the hats on the entertainment center.
Oh yeah, your post.
Yes, I put a
Can
post up.
Can y'all believe we have a whole marriage based on Facebook communication and Facebook posts? That's what connected us.
Hey, I would like to hear some other stories if y'all have it. Facebook stories. I know they out there.
Yeah, it really is.
I know they out there.
Yeah, you made a post about some hats
on the entertainment center, wondering what my girlfriend liked if my hats on the entertainment center.
Did I comment on that post?
You did.
I did. I don't remember what I said, or I
can't. It's been so long. I can't remember what you said on that. But I know you commented, and I got so excited. I was like, "Is this it?"
Oh, you was excited about a comment on a post?
I was excited.
Oh my God.
Because I knew that the last time we talked, it was not good because you put me in my place, you checked me, and I wanted to make it better. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, maybe this is it.
So you was throwing out what, like hints or whatever on Facebook?
The hints was for you.
Oh my God.
I think I told you that.
You did tell me that one day. And I was just like, really? And I fell right into the trap.
People were saying stuff, but it was like I wasn't interested.
Let's be honest, because you're saying you wasn't interested. But let's be clear.
What?
You did have a friend.
I did.
You had a friend.
I did, but and I told you what happened with that.
You did. But
kick rocks.
Oh, you told her to kick rocks too?
I told her kick rocks too. Because I was the person I wanted to be in a relationship and that person wasn't. So it was
she didn't want to be in a relationship.
She didn't want to be in a relationship. Mm-hmm. She just wanted to I don't know what she wanted to do. But anyway, when Bree came along, it was like, man, tell her kick rocks. I was like, I'm single. I'm ready to go out. And we went out on a date.
We did.
And that was it.
Right.
We here now.
I'm going to try to find the message string on Facebook right now while we're talking because...
Yes, post that.
Because it's so funny, that message string, and I'm actually scrolling through my phone right now trying to find my messenger, y'all. Here's what I remember. He did make the post about the hats, and it was just a weird post. Like, my husband loves baseball caps and fitted caps or whatever, and he made this post on Facebook. Now, this is the beginning of 2015. He made this post, and I knew that he had broken up with the baby mama because prior to this particular post that we're talking about, he posted the keys to his new apartment.
Yes.
And he said something like, captioned it like with new beginnings or something to that effect. And I didn't comment on it. I just saw it. I was in a little bit of a situationship anyway. So I saw it, but I didn't say anything. It was just like in the back of my mind, like, oh, he must have broke up with her or she broke up with him or whatever the case may be. That was in the back of my mind. And then he made this post about when I get a girlfriend, I wonder if she will mind if my hats are in the living room or something to that effect. And I do know I commented and I said something about it, but I don't remember what I said.
I have no idea what it was.
Now, this was around the time of the Baltimore riots because I remember that I made a post about having to be in the house at midnight, and you commented on the post.
Night?
It was a Mayweather fight that night.
Okay.
And Baltimore City was on a curfew, meaning everyone had to be off of the street because of the Baltimore riots in 2015. Everybody had to be off the streets by midnight. Like, nobody could just be driving around. Me and my family were at my brother's house watching the Mayweather fight, and I was just like, well, the fight gonna be over after midnight, and I'm driving home. I'm my rebellious ass. I made a post about it, like me saying, like, I'm grown, I'm gonna drive when I want to drive, and you commented on that post as well, and that kind of sparked up us having a conversation via Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
And I remember in Facebook Messenger when you told me, because you was honest and you was like, I do have a friend, I'm seeing someone, like, I'm not in a relationship, but
I wasn't gonna come wrong again.
Yeah, there you go. That's the key, right? So you learn from the mistake of doing it before, and you were like, look, I'm not in a relationship, but I do have a friend. I was just like, oh, well, you need a me. And that's what I said to him. Like, I messaged him back and I was like, you need a me. And it just was like the universe just brought us together at the right time. We talked on Facebook and we were like flirting via Messenger, and we decided to go out on a date. So you came and picked me up, and it was so cute, y'all, because I had my front door was open so I could see outside, and I saw him literally like speed down my street, bust a U-turn. And I was like, this nigga pressed.
Okay.
It was so funny.
Yeah,
I'm like,
okay.
oh my God, he driving so fast. He done drove past my house. But anyway, so he turned back around and I came out and he opened the door for me and got in the car and we went on a date. Where did we go?
We went to the ice cream place.
Yep.
What's the name of it?
Cold Stone.
Cold Stone. And we sit down on the pier down at Fells Point and we had some ice cream. We sat out there. We talked for a good little while. I wanted to make it official right then and there.
Y'all, he asked me to be his girlfriend. Like, it was our first date. It was so fast. He was not playing no games.
No games at all. I said we can make this official right now.
And I accepted.
And we did.
I accepted. You know what's
so
funny? He was literally like smiling from ear to ear. But you know what? I was happy too because at the end of the day, from when we were kids, I saw your heart. I knew that you were just such a sweet person even back then. And here's how I know. This is so dumb. But at 13, we used to have call waiting. You know, somebody would beeping on the other line. You click over. Some of y'all youngins, y'all too young. Y'all don't know nothing about this, right? Y'all don't know nothing about beeping each other. Like we had beepers, paging each other, paging 17-17317-1. Y'all don't know about that shit.
No, nothing
you
about it.
You turn the beeper upside down and they say, I love you.
I love you. That's right.
And my boyfriend was code 1. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all missed those times, but those were the best times. That was the generation and the age that me and you met each other in that generation. And so
good generation.
It was the best. It was the best generation, y'all. And back then, we used to have call waiting. Somebody beeping on your other line, kind of like cell phones today. Somebody calling you on the other line and you hold on and click over. And there was one day that I clicked over and I can't remember who I was talking to. It was either my best friend Candace or my best friend Simone. But one of them called me on the other line and I clicked over and I started talking to my best friend and forgot that Allen was on the other line. Now, again, this is rewinding back to when I was 13 and he was 15 and we were girlfriend and boyfriend and all we really did was talking on the phone.
That's right.
Well, he stayed on hold, y'all, for like an hour. I forgot that he was on the other line. And so when I hung up the phone, remember the phone used to ring.
It'll ring back.
Yeah, if somebody was on the line, if you hung up the phone would ring back. And the phone rang and I answered the phone like, hello? Like thinking it was a new call coming in. It was Allen. Still like, yeah, I'm still here. And I was like, holy shit.
Yes.
So I should have known then the amount of patience, and I want to say this on air because I probably don't show you the amount of appreciation that I should all the time because I'm busy and I'm all over the place and you tolerate that because you know I love to work and I love to do 7,000 things.
Yes.
So I appreciate your patience with not only my hobbies, my business, my job, me as a mother, who I am as a woman, all of the different hats that I wear. I always aspire to be the best daughter, mother, friend, sister, community leader, motivator, business owner, employee. I aspire to be all of these wonderful things. And I don't know that I always aspire to be the best wife first. You tolerating that and still showing 9,000% loyalty to me and commitment to me means the world to me. And I think that the reason that I was so open to jumping right in a relationship with you is because at 13 and 15, the patience that you had with who I was, flaws and all, every flaw that I have, everything that I need to do to be a better person, to grow, all of my little idiosyncrasies, all of my issues that I have, none of us are perfect and we all have our little shit with us. And I got a lot of shit with me. The fact that you so easily put up with those things makes me appreciate you and give you my love, my respect, my loyalty 1,000,000% because I see that and I saw that when we were kids. Fast forward to me being 35. From 13 to 35, I think you respect those things in a man so much more at 35 than you do at a young age because at a young age, I think you take those things for granted. At 35, after failed relationships and heartbreak and all of the other shit that you go through, for me, I saw it differently and I appreciated it on a different level. You just were the same person. Like you were the same patient, loving, kind person. And I'm not saying that you're perfect. I mean, we already know the shit that you do to drive me crazy, but your goodness outweighs by far the shit that drives me insane. I see your potential and the fact that you see my potential and you're willing to work with me on where I am today, which is in an imperfect place. And you say, I know who you can be and I'm going to support that 1,000%. And I do you the same way. I know who you have the potential to be. And so many women fall in love with a man's potential, but not all men are willing to work towards getting to the place where they're tapping into the potential
Right.
Some men just have potential, but they're not willing to put the work in to get there. I'm willing to put the work in to get to my potential. And I think you're willing to get there.
Yes.
And that's what was very attractive to me. And that's what I feel like if both of us can commit to working together and evolving and growing, even if it's not perfect, then that's what makes a relationship work. That's what I saw in you. And that's what made me say, you need a me, because I felt like there's so many women who don't understand men like you and don't respect it. They don't see the value in a man like you. I feel like so many women see a man like you and you being so patient and so kind and so gentle, and they take that for granted and they look at you and say you're weak. But for me, I said, shit, I think that's a strength. I think it's a strength for someone to be that vulnerable to someone and be that open, because I wasn't. You brought that out in me. You made me feel comfortable being vulnerable because you were so vulnerable.
Right.
And I saw it as a strength. I didn't see it as a weakness. I saw it like, damn, that's something that I'm afraid to do. Like, I'm afraid to show people my vulnerability. I'm afraid to show people my sensitive side, my soft side, because I'm scared that if I show you that part of me, that you're going to disrespect it, that you're not going to value it. You're not going to protect my heart. And once the man know that I'm in love with him and he got my heart and I'm vulnerable, it makes women afraid, because now you can hurt me.
Right.
And now I have to deal with the fact that you know I love you and you still reject me. So women guard themselves. But when you and I got together, what I remembered from when we were 13 was that you weren't like that. Actually, you was comfortable being vulnerable while I was comfortable being guarded. And your vulnerability inspired me to be vulnerable back. And together, us putting our guards down, it's like you let me in and I let you in. And now we can work together.
Of course.
But you can't work with a person if they're not being open, if they're guarded, if they're trying to protect themselves, if they are afraid to get hurt. How can you get in close enough to work together to build something? But you were the one that was open, and it inspired me to be open. And now look at me on this platform being transparent. And I feel like I owe that to you, because I wouldn't have been able to be this courageous, to be transparent with my story or who I am as a person, my ups and my downs, if you didn't inspire me that it was strength to be vulnerable, not strength to be tough, not strength to be savage. Like, that's not strong at all. That's actually cowardly.
Right.
But strength is being vulnerable and transparent. And that's what you brought to the table for me. So thank you. And I wanted to say that publicly. I thank you for that, because you opened up a whole nother part of who I could be. See, there's my potential, but I wasn't there yet. And you inspired me to do that. I don't know that there's really anybody else on this earth that could have made me feel like it's okay to just be who you are.
Oh, you're so very welcome.
Thank you,
I'm
honey.
tearing up over here.
Y'all, we done made the kings cry. Y'all know everybody who come on the show. you know you gotta shed some tears. You have some laughs, you said shed some tears. So my husband over here crying, y'all.
I felt the tears getting ready to come, and
They was welling up.
they was welling up.
I just wanted to tell our story a little bit, because Queens, I've told y'all so much about my exes, my past, the difficulty in that, but I never really have shared what happened after the fact. My husband and my life today, God knows there's nothing perfect about life today. There's nothing perfect about our marriage. There's nothing perfect about how we raise our children. There's nothing perfect about our blended family. However, we have committed to each other to say we're going to work through it no matter what. And I think
Definitely.
the biggest key is keeping everyone out of what's going on. Like, the four walls of our home is our sanctuary. And outside of us and our children and our dog, we have Brooke. We have a four-legged dog baby. And we have 4 children.
baby.
It's a dog baby. Huh? You know that's my dog baby.
Yes.
And we have family. Alan has brothers and sisters. I have brothers and sisters. We have nephews, nieces. We have a whole slew of family. Our parents are very much engaged in what's going on with our lives, and actually kind of demanding on our time and spending time with them and having a relationship with them, which I don't mind at all. Why you laughing? Because I said I don't mind. You think I mind?
I mind.
Oh, you mind? Well, I mean, we have to try to balance all of the different people in our lives, our careers, our business. It's not easy to juggle all of the expectations that you have from all of the different people in your lives. Like I said, you have your kids. I have my son's father. He has an ex-wife and a baby mama. So we have to juggle the relationships there. We have to juggle our finances. We have to juggle our parents and making sure that we spend adequate time with them. We have to juggle our careers and everything. And it's not easy to juggle all of those responsibilities and all of the expectations that all of those people have of us, and then find a way to keep what we go through sacred.
That's it.
And if I can offer any advice to any queens out there, whether you are in a relationship and it's your boyfriend, or if you engaged and y'all getting ready to get married, or you are married, please, queens, we haven't been married that long, so I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that we are the poster children or that we know and we have a fail-safe way to handle our marriage. But I can tell you, it has been so wonderful to work through our problems with just the two of us. I do not consult other people about what we're going through, because third parties, outside voices, other people, they can give you advice, but they're only giving you advice from their perspective. And your relationship with your spouse is completely separate and different than anyone else's experiences, because you two are the only two people who are you two on earth. So that's like one of the things that I love the most about our marriage, is the fact that I know for a fact that it ain't no other fucking woman out there who knows what we argued about last night.
That's right.
It's just nobody who knows that, and vice versa. Nobody on earth can say that they know what me and my husband argued about last night or what we went through. You just don't know, because we don't tell anybody. It's completely between us. We don't even argue in front of our children.
Right.
I mean, they might know, they might feel the tension when something is going on, but we don't argue like that. We don't yell at each other. We don't disrespect each other. Have I ever put you out?
No.
I don't think I've ever put you out. No. Now, I done put a couple niggas out now. Let's be clear. I done told a couple niggas, pack your shit. But I feel like I've done all the talking, which is normal, because my husband doesn't do that much talking, y'all. I'm always the one talking. He throw in like 3 words. For every 300 words that I say, he'll give me like 10%. Y'all see, that's how he is. I
comment. I would like to tell the queens, if you meet someone that's willing to throw the pride away and willing to be vulnerable around you, get to know them better.
Give them a chance.
Give them a chance.
What advice would you give to the queens who are hoping to find a decent husband, a man, a king to share their lives with, and they just want to know, like, what am I doing wrong? And how can I meet a king who values me? What advice would you give to those queens?
Love yourself.
Yes, baby.
Love yourself, and you will attract that person that's going to love you. Put it in the universe, my opinion.
That's good advice. So I want to say thank you, husband.
Yes.
For coming to this show, for talking to the queens, even though I did all the talking, which is normal.
You are magnificent at.
Thank you, honey. Again, queens, we want to say thank you. We're not going to invite kings very often. We may not. We're not inviting y'all back very often. Every now and again, it's nice to get a king's story and hear things from a king's perspective. But I did want to invite my husband to the show because I talk so much about my past. I talk so much about my experiences, and the best way to bring you queens up to speed and kind of full circle with the stories that I've told about my past was to bring my husband on the show to talk about our story and how we evolved and how we met, how we got married, and things like that. So hopefully it is encouraging and inspiring to some of you queens. You can come from a rough space. You can come from a broken place. It took me 11 years from realizing that I was broken and hurting and bitter. The realization to fixing it, to making the changes that I needed to make in my life to get different results. Because where I am today was always the dream that I had. It was always exactly what I wanted. And I probably could have had it sooner had I identified and recognized some of my own issues sooner. But it took me time. It took me a long time to understand that I was in a yucky space and to hold myself accountable and to understand that I had the power to change it. It wasn't life happening to me. It was me reacting to life. And we have to stop doing that. So if you want to create the life that you want, whether it be a marriage, a relationship, a business, change your financial situation, change your relationship with your friends, or change your relationship with your kids, change your relationship with your parents, whatever it is that you're going through that you find to be not matching what you really wanted for your life, you have the power to make that change. And as soon as you make that decision, as soon as I decided that I was done with the bullshit relationships in my life, 2 weeks later, I had a boyfriend, and it was the husband I have today. Literally, no bullshit. And maybe I'll invite my husband back on the show because his story is a little similar. He walked away from what he calls a toxic relationship. 3-4 months later, we were together.
Yep.
So it really is about making a decision. And as soon as you reject what you don't want, again, doesn't matter what area of life we're talking about, but once you reject what you don't want, once you reject the space and the situation and the circumstance that no longer serves you, if you're courageous enough to let it go, you will see how the blessing of everything that you want will manifest in your life so fast. But you have to be courageous enough to walk away from the toxicity. So I just wanted to share our story with you, queens. I hope you enjoyed the show today. I'm so thankful for my husband and so thankful that you were open to coming on the show and saying the 4 words that you said. Because my husband doesn't talk a whole lot, y'all, but that's why I married him, so I can do all the talking and stuff. But anyway, thank you, honey, seriously.
No problem.
And thank you, queens. As always, I appreciate every single queen in the queendom, in the army. You queens are the shit to me. Y'all rock. Y'all are so strong, so beautiful. Please continue to keep working through your transitions in life. Continue to work on your journey. You deserve everything you want, and you absolutely can get it. You can manifest anything. Trust me. I know. I know. I'm telling you. So I will talk to you guys next time. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at All Queens Army or Facebook at All Queens Army. You can also hear the podcast on the website at www.allqueensarmy.com. If you have a comment, a thought, you want to be a guest on the show, you have something to share, you have an inspiring story that the world needs to hear, you can always email me at breezy@allqueensarmy.com, and that is BREIZY at allqueensarmy.com. I love you, queens, and I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you for listening to the All Queens Army podcast. If you want to connect with Breizy Time and the All Queens Army, be sure to follow them on IG and Facebook at All Queens Army. Or head over and check out the All Queens Army YouTube channel. Until next time.